Welcome back to my train room. For this week's episode, instead of building something, I am going to follow up on the request of one of my viewers who wanted to see my workshop and my material storage area. So let's take a look around. As you can see, the whole area underneath the layout and on top is storage. A lot of this stuff doesn't have anything to do with trains, but I'm a family man now, so I have other stuff to store. Here's my workbench area. It is underneath the harbour town. Okay, this first area of the workbench under the forest scene will eventually be a spray booth. If you look, it's right by the window, so I will just build some kind of an insert to be able to vent it outside. And then moving around, I have a U-shaped workbench area, somewhere in the region of 37 square feet of work surface. Most of my work I do in the center section, leaving the wings available for putting stuff. I have this shelf along the back, which is really handy. There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown up there. Usually most of it is the stuff that I need frequently, but it also gets used as a junk storage area. I have a lot more tools than I know what to do with right now. This pile of stuff here is waiting for one more delivery. I'm still missing some siding, and then I have an end scale project to work on. I have a large cutting mat. This is one of the cheap ones. It's not designed for use with knives, so it's getting rather cut out right now, but I figure I can destroy 4 or 5 of these for less than the cost of one of the expensive ones. I have a lot of mini drawers along here for parts storage. Anything from small model making tools to detail parts. This kind of clamp is really useful. I bought a set of I think 20 of them in various sizes for not much money at all. I'm always on the lookout for bargains when it comes to tools. Of course, with some tools you have to buy quality, but there are others that you can get by spending a little bit less. As you can see, I have a few knife blades. I got those from when I worked in a printing shop, and they were throwing them away left, right and centre. They had a mat cutting machine that needed brand new blades. They were cut about 4 or 5 pieces of cardboard and then replaced the blades, so those are good enough for all but the finest of work. I have more parts storage drawers around over here. Most of these are not labelled. These are for much smaller things. And I have more here. I find you can never have enough parts storage drawers. I have larger drawers. Plain styrene, specialty sheet styrene, like 2 drawers for styrene strips, track laying, jigs and supplies, switch machines, rock molds, miscellaneous sheet materials, metal, balsa and basswood, miscellaneous strip wood, several drawers of spare kit parts, various scenery supplies, casting supplies, electrical supplies, soldering. The drawers for styrene sheet actually only contain my small pieces. I can get 10 by 14 sheets in these drawers. I buy it in 2 foot by 4 foot sheets. If we crawl under the bench, right, this is my main supply of styrene, which I store in behind that panel. I don't have many sheets left. Eventually I will need to restock this. So what I once thought was a lifetime supply is dwindling fairly quickly. I've only got 1 piece of 80, 2 of 60, and not much 40 left. I have loads of 30 thou, but I don't use that very much. I'm going to have to reorder the thicker ones before much longer. Okay, most of my scenery supplies are stored either up here on the top shelf over the forest, or in the closet over here in the staging area. That's where I stockpile my trees. There's not very many left. I've used most of them on the layout already. Eventually I might have to build some more. But I have all kinds of scenery supplies in here. Most of my paints and bottles and other liquid supplies are stored in this area behind the door. I've got a lot of my casting supplies out right now because I've been working on that. If we step back and look at all these boxes underneath Centerville, a lot of those are full of structure kits. There's also extra cars and locomotives. I was accumulating that over the years when I was hoping one day to build a bigger layout, so I have a lot more than I need for this layout. It's not all hobby stuff. These 4 boxes here are not hobby stuff, and some of the boxes along here are bits and pieces left over from earlier renditions of my hobby when I was working in O scale. Okay, we're looking now at the area between the future spray booth and the boxes I just showed you. Although there's a lot of junk in this area right now, I'm planning on turning it into a long materials storage area. I have a lot of raw materials which come in 2 or 3 foot lengths, and I'm planning on putting some tubes through here underneath the benchwork using the depth of the window reveal, because to the front of the benchwork here is exactly 37 inches from the glass, so I can get 3 foot materials this way. Of course, this framing member up here takes up about half the space that would otherwise have been available, but I think I can make it work. Anyway, that's a future project. So that was a brief overview of my workshop and parts and materials storage area. I hope it was interesting. I hope you all got something out of it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.